Welcome to Subramani. Uh, I'm going to talk to you about a question which somebody asked. What do you think are the financial problems that people over the age of 70 face in India? Right. I really don't know what are the problems which many people above 70 face in India, but I can think of some of the problems which they face based on some interaction that I've had with people above 70, maybe even above 80. And India's population over 70 is going to reach 19% by 2050, and those above 70 with a lot of financial vulnerabilities due to limited savings, inadequate social security. 99% of the people wouldn't have pension. Maybe 3% would have pension. 97 would be a more correct answer, which is central government employees, state government employees, and some bank and municipal employees. Those are the only ones who have pension. Rising living costs. Now, I'm not saying inflation is high, but costs keep going up. Right. So what could be the key challenges that they face? So first is high financial dependency on family. Now there are two problems. One is when you are staying within a family, you're not able to find out the cost of each of the services that you're drawing. If your daughter or daughter-in-law is making roti, you don't know how much is the cost of a real roti. When you go to buy it, you could pay anything from 15 rupees to 100 rupees for a roti, depending on where you buy it, right? If you go to a restaurant, it's much more. But if you do it from a takeout kind of a thing, it could be lesser. But even something like roti, you can't find out the cost very easily. So also the opportunity cost of staying in the house. Maybe you're staying in the house which deserves a 70,000-80,000 rupee rent, but when you're asked to shift to an old age home, you'll say, oh, it's so expensive, they're charging so much. But the rent that you're occupying, that is forgotten, especially if you're staying on your own. So I think a very high percentage of people rely on children almost entirely or to a great extent, or maybe 60% or 70% is they're able to meet from their pension, but still the other 30% has to be dependent on the children. Many people, maybe about I meet 30-40% of the people who don't have any personal income. Now this is a very bad situation. If you have zero personal income, chances are you're totally dependent on your children. And I'm not saying children won't look after you, but there could be a stage when children can't look after you. If you live till the age of 95, your son or daughter could be about 75, or at least say 70. 65, so they could also be retired. So if your son or daughter who is looking after you is retired and doesn't have adequate money, and you also don't have adequate money, that is going to be a real challenge. Pension coverage in India is not even worth talking about, except central government employees, state government employees, and some municipal employees. Nobody gets a pension. So I think 90% of the people whom I have known or met don't have pension. Some people have pension. Some women whose husbands were government servants have pension. It's not that it is zero, but it is a very, very small figure. So I think we can just forget it. And the state government pension is given to people below poverty line, 200 rupees per month and 300 rupees per month. That does not, it's not my audience kind of a thing. So rural elderly population might be getting something from the state government, etc., but that's not what I'm going to talk about. Escalating healthcare expenses. The pharma portfolio of mine is doing very well. Hospitals are doing very well. Pharma companies are doing very well. They look at the share prices of all the even something like a Kovai Medical, Fortis, and I'm not even talking of Apollo, Max. All these shares have done so well. It shows that the margins are good and healthcare expenses are really booming. Now that's good for the portfolio if you have hospitals and pharma companies, but it's not good for the individual. I think 15-17%, maybe 20% of what senior citizen spends is on medicine and healthcare. Whatever it is, may not be much of a preventive thing, but all that definitely costs a lot of money. Very little is covered by PMJ, right? Prime Minister Yojana, maybe up to 5 lakhs is covered. Many people don't believe that it will work. Many people don't have a senior citizen card, right? So That is something. Then poor asset allocation. I think erosion of savings and asset liquidity, because they may have just one big house, which is a fantastic asset worth say 4 crores or 3 crores, whatever, it's in any part of the country. But they don't have the cash flow. Now the children are not too keen for you to put it on the reverse mortgage or to sell it. So now you're trapped. You cannot throw your son out of the house and tell him, look, you either pay me 1 lakh per month rent or something like that, or you get out of the house, I'll sell this house and shift to a senior citizen home. This is not a language which Indian families use, right? So this could be another problem for people. Financial independence is not there, so that's a big percentage which is not financially independent. Most people, many people rather, 30-40% of the people have no income, and therefore I think the figure could be some, on an all India basis, it could be something like 70-80% could be dependent on the family. Of course, with men and women, rural and urban and all, figures could change, but yeah, this could be the problem. Inflation is definitely a problem, but it is much less than what it used to be much earlier, right? So post 2014, which was Raghuram Rajan targeted the inflation oriented budgets, when he started coming out with interest rates based on inflation and cuts based on that, and good support that he got from Modi and his team. I think inflation is very much under control, but still it is a positive figure. Even if it is 3 or 4%, it means your expenses are only going up. So your fixed income is taking a hit because your fixed income is fixed. You're getting 7% from the bank. One advantage senior citizens have now is the income limit is now 12 lakhs. So up to 12 lakhs they don't pay tax. So that is one huge advantage. But there is a problem that if senior citizens are not staying with their children, etc., they're subject to financial frauds. Somebody can just come and say, hello, somebody is trying to call you, unable to get in touch. He's trying to call you from a different number. The minute you link to that number, your OTP is gone and you have lost a lot of money, right? So call merging fraud. So many frauds to which senior citizen will very easily succumb. So that is another thing. And if they don't understand all this, then they suffer from digital exclusion, which is also very difficult because you need your Aadhaar, your OTP verification for filing your income tax return, for many things you need that, right? So if you're digitally illiterate, you're going to be in greater trouble. If you are semi-literate, you're going to lose money to fraud. So this is a big problem faced by senior citizens. Then what is really available to them? Government schemes are available. I just checked on the net, and which is AB, YY, NSAP welfare funds, Pradhan Mantri Varishta Bima Yojana, which gives about 8% return on saving. No 10K maintenance cap under the Senior Citizen Act. So if you can't get your children to support you, you can force them to support you. And over 70 specific problems would be higher chronic illness, whether your children want to spend money on that, whether you want to spend money on that, whether you have adequate insurance. These are all things that you have to worry about for a person above 70. Thank you.